Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father, who this world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is the true name of the Heavenly Father's only begotten Son, who this world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And Rakakwadash is the true name of the Holy Spirit, Rakakwadash meaning Spirit Holy in Paleo-Hebrew, and Bahashem is a phrase in the Paleo-Hebrew language meaning in the name, and of course, well, the Paleo-Hebrew language. And as usual, I want to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders, especially of Great Millstone, who rule and teach the 100% truth well, and shalom unto the hopeful elect. And Yahweh and Yahweh Shai are the one and only true names that we are to be calling on in these perilous times in order to be eligible to receive salvation. And today, pretty much want to go into another similar lesson to a lesson I did around a week ago, maybe a little more. But trust in the Lord Yahweh, He controls all things, okay? Because again, with the times we're coming into, man, it's imperative to trust in the Lord, to have faith, man, all right, to have confidence, okay? Especially because He controls all things, man, and that should make you more confident, okay? So, I don't really have any articles, all right, but, as you can see, we're getting closer to the end. We're getting closer to World War III fully, becoming manifest, man. We're getting closer to the hour of temptation, man. We're getting closer to martial law being declared and Esau coming down with that full great wrath, man. All right, and in these times, well, of course, we're going to need to trust in the Lord, man, and have faith, man, because again, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai is a power that deals with you based off your faith. And we've seen that as an example multiple times. We've seen that, so like I'm trying to get the scriptures, are not his sisters, all right? Yeah, Matthew 13 and let's see, let's start at actually verse 55. All right, actually verse 53. Okay, actually, I'm just gonna skip to the point. All right, but so here's the example of Yahweh Shai. All right, coming into his own country. I'll just start at verse 54. And when he was coming to his own country, he taught them in their synagogue, insomuch that they were astonished and said, Whence hath this man this wisdom and these mighty works? Is not this the carpenter's son? Is not his mother called Mary, and his brethren James and Joseph, Simon and Judas, and his sisters, are they not all with us? Whence then hath this man all these things? And they were offended in him. But Yahweh said unto them, A prophet is not without honor, save in his own country and in his own house. And that's what it meant by, he came unto his own, and his own received him not. It was talking about the people in Yahweh Shai's town, okay? But here's the point I wanted to get. And he did not many mighty works there because of their unbelief, in NOT. And so he did only a few miracles there because of their unbelief. So Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai can only do so much. Well, he's omnipotent. He's not limited by you, but he's only going to do so much if you lack that faith, man. All right, if you have, he's not going to do those mighty works if you have that unbelief. All right, so you need to have that faith and that confidence, man. All right, that hope, okay, because that's imperative, man. All right, otherwise, well, you're not gonna receive the miracles, okay, that are gonna happen in these perilous times. Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in the Lord Yahweh with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. Okay, simple. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Okay. And we want that, man. We want the Lord to direct our paths, man, because again, the Lord is getting ready to bring evil upon this place, man. All right, the Lord's getting ready to, bring this place down and bring evil upon this place. Amos 3 and 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord Yahweh hath not done it? Yeah, that's right. So the Lord brings the evil, man. He has these spirits of vengeance that are ready to, he also has these spirits of vengeance that are ready to do his will, man, and bring forth vengeance, man. But, whenever something evil in the city happens, the Lord did it. All right. Well, of course, he sent the spirit to do it, but he ordained it, man. The Lord ordains everything, man. All right. That's why you are to fear him, man. Okay. Fear ye not me. All right. Jeremiah 5 and 22. Fear ye not me, saith the Lord Yahweh. Will ye not tremble at my presence, which I have placed the sand for the bound of the sea by a perpetual decree? All right, you keep in mind, the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, he created the earth. Well, really, Yahweh created Yahweh Shai, and of course, Yahweh Shai and the angels, they created the rest, okay, of creation, okay. Will you not tremble at my presence, which I have placed the sand for the bound of the sea by a perpetual decree, that it cannot pass it? And though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail. Though they roar, yet can they not pass over it. So the Lord set bounds for the sea. And the ocean is very powerful, man. All right, look at these tsunamis. All right, the ocean is very, very powerful. Okay, yet the Lord subdues it like, a pet, because it's all the Lord's creation, man. All right, everything is subject to the Lord and His almighty power. Okay, the Lord set a bound, and they can't pass it, man. All right, and He also set bounds for Esau too. And again, you don't want to fear Esau, because again, the Lord set bounds that Esau can't pass, man. There are certain, there's certain things that Esau can't reach. He can't reach to the stars, literally. All right, but also, there's certain limits that Esau can do. All right, and it's limited by the Lord, whatever He wants. Okay. Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord Yahweh, do all these things. So He makes peace and He creates evil. He creates life and darkness. Okay. Well, He forms the light and creates darkness. Okay. So the Lord does all these things. And who would be such a fool as to create something they can't control, man? All right. You see Esau, he's going crazy with this AI, man. All right. But it's kind of getting out of hand. All right. Because keep in mind, AI, AI may seem infallible, but it's not. It can be hacked, and I'm not just talking about, China and Russia can hack it, but I'm talking about the Lord. All right, because the angels, if the Lord wants to, He can send these angels to interfere with this AI and go haywire, man. All right, have a bunch of Terminators go down. Okay, but the Lord is not a fool. Esau is a fool. Okay, well, yeah, in a way. All right. He may have all this advanced science, but we can see that he's making very sloppy mistakes, man. Okay, but I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord Yahweh, do all these things. Okay, so the Lord also controls those things as well. Obviously, he has everything under His control. All right, but now let's get Matthew 10:28. Okay, because again, the Lord's not a fool that He's gonna create something and not have control over it. No. All right, everything is under the Lord's control, man. All right, everything. Okay, and by the way, you have Satan going to the Lord, beforehand. All right, before going to Job. All right, let's see. I'm trying to find it. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Job 1:6. Now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord Yahweh, and Satan came also before them. And yes, Satan is also a son of the Most High. Okay, he does obey the Most High. Again, we know that whenever the Lord does evil, we know that the Lord, whenever a city has evil happen, the Lord ordained it, man. The Lord has it happen. Okay, nothing can happen without the Lord allowing it, man. And these Christians go off on that, man. Oh, Satan did it. Satan did it. Well, really, who's behind it? The Lord always. Whenever evil happens in the city, that's the Lord behind it. But here's verse 7. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord Yahweh and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down upon in it. All right, doing a job. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth the Most High and escheweth evil? Then Satan answered the Lord Yahweh and said, Doth Job fear the Most High for naught? Hast not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord Yahweh. All right, so that's right. The big bad Satan, who's the big bad Satan, all right, answers to the Lord. Okay, obviously the Lord is the bigger one. Okay, but also you see that Job and the NOT, you have always put a wall of protection around him and his home and his property, man. All right, Job is protected, man. The Lord got walls of protection around His elect, man. All right, and the only ways those walls can be could be breached is if the Lord wills it, man. All right, but without that happening, you see that the Lord had to give permission to Satan to even test Job, man. All right, Satan couldn't do anything if the Lord said no. All right, and the NOT, all right, you may test him. So the Lord gave him permission, man. Otherwise, Satan would not have been able to do anything to Job. All right, the Lord Yahweh said to Satan, Do whatever you want with everything he possesses, but don't harm him physically. So Satan left the Lord Yahweh's presence. Okay. So again, the Lord gave a rule set to Satan, and he couldn't break it, man. All right, And Esau is the man who's coming is after the working of Satan, man. All right, the Lord controls both Satan and Esau, man. All right, Esau can't do anything, without the Lord ordaining it. And again, it's not like Esau is going to the Most High and asking for permission. No, but the Most High still pulls the strings from behind the scenes. All right, and of course, the Lord has spirits to. The Lord can put spirits on people to do certain things anyways. Matthew 10:28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Alright? So don't fear Esau. Because at the end of the day, Esau is a man. He's a physical man. Alright? He's a man. Without his technology, what is he? Okay? And even with his technology, what is he? He's still a man. All right, his lifespan is limited. His knowledge is limited, so on and so forth. Man, he's a man. He has limits. But fear the Lord. The limits are nothing to the Lord. All right, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. And hell is a condition played out on earth, man. Okay, so the Lord can, and reincarnation is in the Bible. So the Lord can take your soul, send you back down to earth to live out a terrible life, man. All right, as a punishment. Okay. So you are to fear the Lord, not Esau Edom, man. Because again, Esau is just a man. At the end of the day, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is a man. He got no power. He really doesn't. All right, and any power that he has, the Lord gave it to him, man. All right, Oh yeah, that too. Hold up, let's get it. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Given into the hands of the wicked. So the earth was given. It's not Esau took the earth from the Lord's control and the Lord struggles to get it back. No, come on, man. No, the earth, it was given into the hands of Esau, man. All right, the Lord gave Esau the earth, okay, for now. All right, and he gave Esau the sword, man. Okay, and just as easily he can give, he can take away. Okay, but Salaki, I forgot what he said beforehand. Salaki, I did, man. I forgot what I said beforehand, but again, the Lord gave Esau the earth, man. All right, the Lord controls Esau, man. Okay, he's just a man. All right, the Lord is going to take away all of Esau's power, man, and it will just become, the base, and he'll become the lowest of the lows. All right, Isaiah 31:3. Now the Egyptians, aka Americans, all right, aka the Americans, all right, now the Egyptians are men, but in this case, this applies to Esau Edom and not the Most High. All right. And their force is flesh and not spirit. When the Lord Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. You don't want to be going down to Egypt for help, man. You don't want to be going down to Esau Edom, the ruler of America, for help. You're supposed to trust in the Lord, okay? Because Esau is just a man, man. All right, Esau is just a man, okay? And the Lord. The Lord literally gave Esau the earth, man. And he didn't take it. No, the Lord gave it, man. The Lord got power and control over all things, man. Okay, so, so trust in him. All right, because, at the end of the day, anything that happens is ordained. He controls everything, man. Okay, and if you're of if you're of the elect, man, he's not going to let, true harm come your way. Okay, he may have, Esau maybe throw you into a concentration camp, but that's only for testing. Okay. So now let's get Proverbs 29. All right, Proverbs 29 and 25. All right. The fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord Yahweh shall be safe. Okay. So the fear of man bringeth a snare. All right. It is a trap, man. All right. And a lot of people in this hour of temptation coming up are going to fail because of the fear of man. They're going to fear what Esau can do rather than fear what the Most High Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai can do to them. Okay. Because that MOTB, that microchip implant, all right, more specifically the RFID microchip and the Neuralink are getting ready to be made mandatory. All right, and you can see, they're pretty much starting to promote it now. All right, you got Mr. Beast doing it. Okay, but that's getting ready to come, and a lot of people are going to fail when pressure is put on them because of that fear of man, rather than trusting in the Lord. All right, okay. And that's going to lead to the downfall, man. It's a snare, a trap. All right, but now let's get Psalms 118, verse 6. The Lord Yahweh is on my side. I will not fear. What can man do unto me? Exactly. All right, so the Lord, if the Lord be for us, who can be against us, man? All right, man can't do anything if the Lord doesn't let it happen, man. All right, Romans 8 and 31. What shall we then say to these things? If the Most High be for us, who can be against us? Exactly. All right, the elect have Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai on their side, man. The creator of the universe. You can't fight against that, man. Esau can't do anything against that. All right, and I'm gonna get this piece up, man, as well. Uh, Jeremiah 10 and 23. O Lord Yahweh, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps. All right. So everything that happens, everywhere someone goes, that's ordained by the Lord, man. All right. And their heart and everyone's heart is in the hand of the Lord. Okay. So Proverbs 19. Oops, this is the wrong one. Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. And if the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, how much more a normal person's heart? All right, so the Lord controls all things. He controls the Edomites' thoughts and your thoughts as well. All right, so trust in Him. All right, if the Lord wants, He could have Esau, have mercy. All right, per se. All right, have mercy on you and let you pass. Okay, let's see. When a man's ways please the Lord, yeah. Salakia. Enemies peace. Here we go. Proverbs 16 and 7. When a man's ways please the Lord Yahweh, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. Okay? And also trust in the Lord, because at the end of the day, Esau can only do what the Lord ordains, man. All right? The Lord, Esau can't get ideas by himself. The Lord has to put ideas, the Lord has to let ideas into Esau's mind for him to do anything. Okay? So always trust in the Lord, no matter what. Because again, that faith is going to be a requirement, man. That faith is going to be a requirement. Because as I got in the beginning, all right, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai is not really going to be dealing with you if you don't have that faith. Okay. Now let's get Jeremiah 10:23, which I'm pretty sure I just got. Yeah. All right. Now let's go down to Isaiah 10 and 12. Okay. This is kind of all over the place, but I hope you get it. All right. Isaiah 10 and 24. Therefore thus saith the Lord, power of hosts, O my people that dwellest in Zion, be not afraid of the Assyrian, which modern day Assyrian would be, the Edomites. Okay. He shall smite thee with a rod, and shall lift up his staff against thee after the manner of Egypt. For yet a very little while, and the indignation shall cease in mine anger and their destruction. And let's read this in the NLT. So this is what the Lord Yahweh of heaven's armies says, O my people in Zion. And Zion is people before a place. And this is talking about the Israelites. Do not be afraid of the Assyrians when they oppress you with rod and club, as the Egyptians did long ago. In a little while my anger against you will end, and then my anger will rise up to destroy them. Okay, the Lord is going to take vengeance against our enemies as well. All right, but now let's get Psalms 125 and 3. All right, don't fear someone who the Lord controls. Okay, don't fear man, because that thing is that fearing that man is a snare. All right, instead only one you are to fear is the Lord Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. That's it. Okay, and just trust in Him. All right, Psalms 125 and 3. For the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous, lest the righteous put forth their hands unto iniquity. Okay. So, self-explanatory. Okay. So again, keep on doing righteously, man. All right. And, if you're doing wickedly, then repent and turn to the Lord, and He may have mercy on you. All right. Because He is a merciful power. But now let's get John 19 and 11. Okay. Here we go. John 19 and 11. Yahweh Shai answered, Thou couldst have no power at all against me, except they were given thee from above. Therefore he that delivered me unto thee hath the greater sin. Okay, so this is Yahweh Shai speaking, and he said that this is Pilate, all right, Pontius Pilate would have no power except it were given thee from above. And that's the same with the elect, man. Esau can only do what the Lord ordains, man. Nothing goes past the Lord, man. All right. And these Christians, they like to say, well, sin did this and that. No. All right. The Lord, there's no free will. The Lord has everything happen for a reason, man. All right. And He ordains everything, man. Okay. Nothing can pass Him, man. All right. Nothing is going to happen without His approval. All right. Now let's get Lamentations 3 and 37. Okay. Who is he that saith, and it cometh to pass when the Lord commandeth it not? And the NLT, who can command things to happen without the Lord's permission? Going back to the KJV, out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth not evil and good. All right, in the NLT, does not the Most High send both calamity and good? Okay, so again, nothing can happen without the Lord. Who can command things to happen without the Lord's permission? Because everything is ordained by the Lord. Well, I can just put my hand up. Even that's ordained by the Lord, man. This is good. This is good. Let me get this. In a vision of the night. All right, but really, there's no reason to fear Esau Edom. Only one you are to fear is the Lord. All right, don't fear Esau Edom when he comes down with that great wrath, but instead trust in the Lord. All right, because he doesn't fail those who truly trust in him, man. Just trust in the Lord and have faith. Okay, Job 33:15. Okay, actually verse 14. For the Most High speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream, in the vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose, and hide pride from man. And let's go into that word instruction, okay? Instruction, discipline, correction, instruction, okay? To chasten, discipline, instruct, and admonish, all right? But let's see. All right, sealeth instruction. Okay, let's get the Google definition as well. A direction or order, detailed information telling how something should be done, operated, or assembled. Okay, so the Lord seals that in man's head, while they're sleeping. Okay, so essentially, yes, we are robots. Essentially, okay, we're not made of metal. All right, but essentially, we are robots. Okay, there's no free will. All right, and this also applies to Esau Edom too, obviously. Okay, so whatever Esau does, the Lord sealed that in Esau's sealed that instruction in Esau, man. Okay, so Esau can't go against the will of the Lord. All right, so if it's the will of the Lord for you to be protected, nothing can break that. All right, nothing can break that. So just trust in the Lord, man. All right, and get on His good side. Show diligence to make your calling and election sure, so that the Lord's favor may be with you. All right. So that the Lord doesn't want it for you to get so that most likely the Lord is not going to have it to where you're captured by Esau or hurt. Okay, because again, the Lord's not going to will it. All right, and of course it differs for different members of the elect, because the Lord may let some of the elect get beat up. All right, and cast into prison, these concentration camps, but it's all for a test, and as long as those elect have faith unto the end, they're going to be fine. All right. Let's get Lamentations 2:10. Okay. All right, but overall, you can see that there's no free will. There's no free will, so whatever happens is all ordained by the Lord. So take comfort in that, man. Take comfort and trust in the Lord, because at the end of the day, He has control over the story. He has control over everything that happens, man. All right, so don't be doubting. Oh, I'm scared. What if this happens? What if that happens? Well, if the Lord doesn't want it to happen, it's not going to happen. So instead, just trust in the Lord, because that pleases Him, man. All right, that increases the you doubting and being all over the place, man. That's going to increase the chances of the Lord letting you get jacked up, man. All right, but if you please Him, man, we just saw that, man. When a man's ways please the Lord, He maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. All right. And of course, Esau is getting ready to come down with full great wrath, Okay, but at the end of the day, the Lord is getting ready to Salakia. Let me recollect my thoughts. All right, but Esau is getting ready to come down with great wrath, of course, but the Lord is going to protect His elect, man, those that please Him, man. All right, the Lord's going to protect those that please Him. Okay. And but those that don't please Him, man, they're not going to have the hedge of protection, man. Those that don't fear the Lord, they're not going to have those angels encamping round about them, and the Lord is going to let Esau have their way with them. Okay, but that's not the elect. I don't want to represent we are of that number. All right, but let's get Lamentations, Revelation 2:10. Okay. And all those things which thou shalt suffer, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that he may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Alright, so don't be afraid of what you're about to suffer. Don't be afraid of man, because man is just physical. But rather, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. And I'm going to close out with this. Sirach chapter 2 and 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? And the answer is no one, man. Those who truly trusted in the Lord never abandoned, man. Okay? The Lord never abandoned. The Lord's going to protect his elect, man. He's going to raise up a standard, that spiritual power, all right, for some of his elect men when Esau comes down with great wrath, man. He's always going to be there for his elect. Okay, so trust in the Lord, man. All right, because whatever happens to you, all that testing, remember, the Lord gave Satan permission to test Job. All that happens to you is ordained. It's all on purpose, man, as a test. Okay, so it's all a test. So just trust in the Lord, man. It's a test to see whether or not you're gonna give up. All right, because if you give up, then you fail. All right, but let's see. I think there was something else I wanted to get. I could get a few more precepts, but I kind of forgot. Yeah, it kind of left me. But with that, again, this was kind of a little bit all over the place, but Lord willing, I got the point across. But with that, overall, trust in the Lord. He controls all things. He controls the weather too, this and that, man. So again, he controls all things. So there's no reason to be doubting. What if Esau does this? What if Esau does that? Esau's not going to do anything the Lord doesn't let happen, man. If you're on the good side of the Lord is not going to let Esau have his way with you, man. Okay. But with that, Lord willing, that was edifying. I want to give all the praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakodash. Shalom. Shalom.